What's up, everybody? Excited to be here today for another kind of interview style video. If anybody who's watching this is interested in doing a call with me, you can schedule time with me. It's free. I'll talk to you as long as you're aware that it's going to be published on my YouTube channel. The way these videos typically work is I ask questions in the beginning, try and get a sense of the person, where they're from, what they've been through, and then we kind of get into the more e-commerce stuff in like the second half of the video, if that's something that they're doing, right? So again, if any of you are watching and you're interested, look in the description. You can find a link that will allow you to schedule time with me. You literally just click a button, click on the time slot, and then click enter. And then I wake up one day and I have your Skype email and I call you. I don't have to know who you are. I don't have to know what the conversation is about. All right? So this is Karim. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, you too.
So
how are you?
I'm doing pretty well. I ran out of milk, so I made tea this morning and then I didn't have any milk to put in it, which is like the worst thing in my life.
It's fine.
So
here
tell
in Egypt, they drink that tea like without the milk.
Say it again.
In Egypt, they doesn't like the milk with the tea.
Yeah.
Most of the times.
Yeah, that's like Americans are like that as well. Whenever I put milk in my tea, they're like, "Ew, what are you doing?"
Yeah, the tea is fine without the milk.
We have, personal preference, right? So Tell me a bit about yourself. You are where do you live?
Right now, I'm in Egypt, and Egypt in e-commerce is really shit, with everything about PayPal, internet, banking accounts, everything is shit here. But It's fine, you can go through it.
Yeah, it's hard to access
UAE,
your money.
Yeah, it's like you can access with like Pioneer and all of this stuff, but PayPal is really not good in Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the whole with your US PayPal account, they can hold the money for 21 days. After like 1 or 2 months, they can you can go out with the PayPal jail.
Yeah.
Here in Egypt, the hold is like for 30 days. Never, if you uploaded the track number, you won't have your funds, and it's forever. It's not like 3 months. So the problem is with the cash flow.
Yeah.
You can't have access with the cash flow, even if you are selling for like 1 year. And it's a lot of stuff. Some PayPal accounts doesn't have that PayPal jail for the 30 days, but there's other PayPal accounts that have this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really hard, to go through it. At the beginning, it's fine, like even if you can afford 1K of sales in the month, but if you are going like 10K, 15K in sales in the month, you can't afford like having the full all of this amount in the sales.
Yeah.
And you
don't get the money for a month.
Yeah,
it's a big problem.
Yeah, that's really hard.
So most people would they would work around that by getting a US PayPal and bank account, which you can. There are ways to do that.
Yeah, there is a way, but with the US PayPal account, I already opened the LLC. I already obtained my EIN, but the problem is with the bank account, I have to travel to the US.
Yeah.
It's not easy to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's expensive too.
Right now, with the money and with it's not easy also if you can't just go there and tell them that I'm going to open a bank account and they will give you like, okay, let's go. It's not easy, but I will try to do that in the future.
Yeah, you gotta try. I know a couple people who've done that, and you gotta try a couple different banks to find one that's going to be willing to give you an account as a foreigner.
It's fine. I already contacted the Bank of America.
Mm-hmm.
I already made the LLC with the LegalZoom, but it's fine. They told me that because I doesn't have a social security number or even like any immigration or any stuff of that, I have to be there in person.
In person, yeah.
Yeah, I will open like a small business bank account, but with the EIN, it's fine. But the problem is with traveling there. So I'm still like working around that with the Egyptian PayPal account until I figure out how I'm going to do that. At the beginning, like once I started, I was having a UAE PayPal account because I wasn't like there. I had like PayPal in like 2006, I think, or no, from long time when I was there. But after like 1 or 2 months, they shut it down, or I had a limitation because they needed the proof of identity, proof of address, and all of this stuff. And the first PayPal is gone, and then I completed with my Egyptian PayPal account, and then I had a friend in UAE that I took his information to open a new account like 2 months ago, and like everything is verified, the proof of identity, proof of address, everything. But the problem was like, because I'm opening the account in Egypt, they also had limited this account.
Yeah.
So, and it was like having like $700 on it. So I can't access this money until 6 months.
6 months.
That's really, yeah.
Wow.
With PayPal, you can't if your account's suspended, you can't access the money after.
Yeah,
after
that's called a collateral reserve. That's when PayPal places an amount of money on hold. Because
it's not on hold. It's in your balance. But
Yeah.
you can withdraw. You can pay them. Your PayPal account is suspended, so you
Yeah.
can't withdraw the funds until.
That's what I'm
6
saying.
months.
It's a different kind of hold. Like, it's something that PayPal internally refers to as a collateral reserve, and it's their way of, if they think the account's sketchy, they lock it and make sure that there's money in it in case people want refunds and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
it was
once
1K.
enough time passes,
I was having like 1K, and I withdrew. I refunded about 400 or 300. So right now I'm having like 700 that I can't access. But we are going to see about that. It's fine. Right now I have like an Egyptian account that doesn't have that type of hold, the 30 days. But I don't know in the future if they will be limiting it or returning the type of hold again.
Yeah.
Because it's not like graduation stuff like PayPal jail or anything. Like if you had amount of sales, you are going to be like you will go and access your funds easily.
Yeah.
It's in their legal stuff that Egyptian PayPal accounts that can't access the funds until 30 days.
Yeah. That's a common, like, so in a lot of countries, there's like weird limitations on either like the amount of money you can withdraw or the amount of money that can go in and out of your PayPal account. So getting a US PayPal account is definitely
it will help a lot.
Yeah.
Even with like the 2% cashback, MasterCard with PayPal.
Yeah.
And there's another stuff also with my PayPal account. I can't buy with my balance. I have to withdraw the funds to my Visa or the MasterCard.
Yeah.
And then I can buy with it. I can't like send funds through my balance.
Yeah.
So any pre-approved payment, I have to pay it with my Visa, not with my balance.
So do you use Payoneer for that?
Yeah. I use Payoneer, and I linked my routing number, accounting number, and all of this stuff. And right now I'm having like all my stuff with Payoneer. It's really good for the internationals. Payoneer is really amazing for the internationals.
Yeah, makes things possible.
Yeah.
Interesting. So tell me a bit about how old were you? Where were you born?
Right now I'm 20.
Okay.
I'm from Egypt.
So you were born in Egypt?
Yeah, I born it in Egypt, and I went to UAE when I was like in the KG, so it's fine. And I lived there for about 16 years, and then or 15 years, and then I came back to Egypt in the high
Gotcha.
school.
So you spent most of your life in the Emirates.
Yes.
And where were you living there? It's a pretty expensive place to live.
No, it's not that. It's
not?
I was living in Al Ain. It's like behind Abu Dhabi. If you know about Abu Dhabi. It's expensive in Dubai, but in like Al Ain and all of this stuff, it's not that expensive if you are.
Gotcha.
If you have like enough salary, you can live about that. You can also have money, and you can also save money, but it depends on you. If you want to live a good life, or if you want to live like, saving stuff, it's not good.
So is it common for people to go to the Emirates to work? Because I know a couple people, like one guy I know his family's in the Philippines, but he works in the UAE. So it's easier to find work there?
It's not that easy, but it.
Oh, 1 second. I can't hear your audio anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, you're back. All right.
Okay, yeah. I don't know why the. Okay, let's off the touch because I don't know why it's moving around. Okay. Is it fine right now?
Yeah, you're fine. I can hear you.
Okay, so it's not like an easy to find a work there, but you can do that. And the salary there is like enough if you are just working alone without your family, you can save money and send it to your family back.
Gotcha. So it's easier to find a better paying job there versus in a lot of countries in the surrounding area.
Yeah, it's like the Asia stuff. They can find more, more jobs. It's more salary.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Arab also they can find more jobs there, the better salary.
Yeah.
But within like Europe or US, they're not going to go to the UAE for the work.
Yeah.
But it's fine, we came back there and we are in Egypt right now. So there's nothing to say about my living in the past right now.
Mm-hmm. So when did you get into, or when did you get interested in e-commerce stuff?
Like 6 months ago, I was like on the college. That was like I was supposed to enter like a section in the college. So I was going like, the suffering through study, get the degree, travel, go to work, and then I had like some issue with the college. I didn't enter the thing that I was looking for.
Uh-huh.
So I went to search on the internet. I was searching first at like Fiverr, freelancer, writing stuff, but I didn't be interested in it. It's like it was it's a good money in our country.
Yeah.
But it's
a lot of work.
Yeah, you have to write like articles and all of this stuff.
So where did you? Sorry, go on.
Yeah, and I think I found the drop shipping like after 2 weeks of searching. I got interested in it, but I just opened an eBay account and I just start listing. I didn't even like have the visa yet, so I can't purchase the stuff if I sold anything.
So you were just trying.
I didn't know how I'm going to access the funds. I didn't know how I'm going to withdraw the funds. I had really a lot of issues in at the first, because like I sold, and the first 2 sales I lost on them, and the first one was like $15 and the second was like $35.
Oh man.
Yeah, and I lost on both, and I had to fulfill the order.
Yeah.
So I just go and added the funds to my visa and I purchased the stuff. But like, it's not like $15 in US, like $15 in Egypt. You live in Nicaragua and you know the difference between the currency.
Yeah.
And the third sale I had like, it was like 150 or 120, because it was like a hat and someone sent me a best offer that he wanted to purchase 10 of them. So that sale was profitable.
That's good.
But but there's, you have to fulfill the order and you didn't access the first $50.
Yeah.
They are still on hold. So it was really messy, and you're still a kid for like 20 years.
Yeah.
So you don't have that, that enough capital to fulfill the orders. But I go through it. I borrow some money, and then I withdraw it. I figured that stuff. I had like the issue and the future, I solved it.
Mm-hmm. So you got through it. That's good, because that's definitely something that stops most people.
Yeah, most people stop at that point.
Because as an international person, like, there is more work for you to access the money, but at the same time,
there is advantage. You are not being here with the US.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's the advantage.
Yeah, and that was something I learned a lot about in Nicaragua. It really opened my mind.
Yeah. If you can like have a $500 in the month, that's really a huge income in like Nicaragua or in Egypt or in most of the Arabic countries. That's enough.
Yeah, and in Nicaragua, for someone our age or like in their 20s, earning $500 a month is like a job people want, like full-time job too. So that's like 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, possibly more. So if you're able to earn that in like a couple hours, that's huge, like.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a couple hours, at the beginning you have to put like, I was working like 16 hours a day.
That's
between
a lot.
Learning, watching videos, listing, figuring stuff, contacting PayPal, contacting eBay. Until now, you can with PayPal you can have like a phone call for 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
For eBay.
One second, your audio just cut out again. It's funny that the audio cuts out, but your video is fine. Normally, both of them mess up at the same time. I still can't hear you. So after you figure this out, it'd be good to explain to the viewers how Payoneer works, because that's something that a lot of international people aren't super aware of, and it's like, the solution. So once your audio is back, that'd be good to...
You can hear me right now?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
The lab mute the audio without any reason. So I don't know why is that.
It's okay.
But it's fine. I think the keyboard is messing up, but I will see about that after the call.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
So about Payoneer, it's like just you open the account with them. You must have like $30 on it, so you can access like the MasterCard that they have. You can link your local bank account with them, and then you can link your US bank account. They give you like a routing and accounting number in the US.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, you can like just link it with PayPal account and withdraw like $30 from PayPal to your Payoneer account. And then you can order the MasterCard. It will come to your country within like 20 days. It can come within like 2 weeks only.
That's not bad.
And then it's not nothing else. You can just withdraw the funds from your PayPal to your Payoneer account. It's like you have a US bank account.
Yeah.
It's PayPal. There is nothing. Sometimes they can just transfer the funds within like 1 or 2 days. So it's not that, it's not that like a big deal.
Yeah. The thing to be aware of is that you pay fee every time you transfer, right?
The fee with Payoneer is like 1% if you transfer the funds and 1% if you purchase some stuff.
Okay.
So if you transfer like 100 to Payoneer, you will receive like 99.
Yeah.
And then when you will purchase like a 100 item from Amazon, you will purchase it with like 101.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So 2% isn't like a big deal if you're scaling and you have like 10K, 15K in sales. 2% like is huge. But if you are just starting up, 2% is like nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. And it doesn't matter because you have to have it in order to operate. So you have to learn to work with that. It's not, and like on the other side, like everything I earn, I have to pay 30% of what I earn to the government for income tax.
Yeah.
So like, I mean.
But yeah, why you didn't like open like an LLC in Delaware?
I haven't. There's things that I can do to lower that. It's just this is more for the international people who aren't doing it because they think that it's impossible. It's like,
Yeah, with the US also, there is some US dropshippers and some international. It's not like international. It's a US dropshippers. They just register their business in Delaware, so it doesn't they doesn't have to pay that a huge fee in the taxes.
Yeah. There's ways to lower your taxable income. But so tell me more about your drop. Like, where do you get information about dropshipping? Where did you?
At the beginning, I was like, in the Arabic, there is not a lot of people that talk about it. Even the people that talk about it, most of them like charge money about that.
Yeah.
You know, but there's one. His name is Rami. He teaches people, and he had a group of dropshipping. So that's it. The information that he have is enough for a beginner to start up. But you know, the problem with the Arabic people, some of them doesn't have like a good English at listening, so they can't watch like Mark's video or your videos, or like right now Paul's video. You know, Tyler is starting up, so they can't watch most of these videos, so they will not be able to recognize it more better.
Yeah, because they have to like study English to be able to access the information.
Yeah.
And that's like, if you don't know a language, learning a whole language, like, that's intense.
Yeah, it's huge. I wasn't like that, you know, I wasn't like perfect in English or that good. Even was like, I'm right now, I'm not like, my English is like 50%. So
I think it's better than 50%. Oh, I think his internet just went down. Let's try again. Well, I'm gonna get the whole way of mirrors for you guys. Here we go. Oh, here we go.
Yes, hello.
Yo, you're back.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. The line cut off. The Skype just off.
No worries, it happens.
Yeah. Okay, you can just edit, you know, the two calls. It's fine.
Oh, it's a constant recording, so it didn't end.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. So was that what we was talking about?
We're talking about how it's hard for a lot of Arabic speakers to access the information because most of it's in English.
Yeah, and you know, there is a lot of free information on YouTube. Mark provide a lot of free information. You provide a lot of free information. Right now, Tyler is providing a lot. You know, even Paul. You don't have to pay for the course, so you can be successful.
Yeah,
it's
all on YouTube.
Yeah, everything is on YouTube, and the problem is not with the YouTube. You have to try that stuff with yourself. You know, if you didn't try it, you will not be successful, or you're not going to go through it.
Yeah, and that's kind of what, in my opinion, like I have pretty much the same information on YouTube and on the course, but the course is just more organized. So it's like, if people need a bit more direction, then that's easier for them.
Yeah, the course only save you time. But as a beginner, and you are 20 years, you don't have like a full-time job, you have time.
Yeah.
So you can just watch the videos. It's fine. You know, the problem is there's some people that contacts me like 5 months ago. They learned about dropshipping before me, at the beginning of 2017. And they told me that they are learning it within like 3 or 4 months, and that was in January.
Yeah.
So they are learning it within 4 months. And then I had like a post like 1 month ago. They contacted me again saying that they're still learning. They're going to start it.
Yeah.
So it's like 6 or 7 months and they haven't started yet. So that's the most important issue with most of them. That they're scared about starting. They're scared about returns, how they can handle it, or what if Amazon box, all of that stupid stuff,
Yeah.
What if Amazon, suspended my account because I'm Prime member? What I will do? Yeah,
You figure it out.
If they just started, I really best off with that questions, because when someone asks you a question and you know that if he gone through that level, he will figure it out.
Yeah.
He is not going to ask me that question. He will find, how can I handle a return? He didn't even had a one sale yet, and he's talking about the returns. So that's really bad,
Yeah, that's for English speakers as well. That's just how.
Yeah, that's in English also. I
Yeah.
found it on most of the groups. It's like in the person. It's not about Arabic or English people.
Yeah. So what software, if any, do you use for?
Yeah, about that. At the beginning, you don't have enough money. So at the beginning, I was like manually listing, and then, but I figured it out more quickly. Like Ty, he listed like manually it was like 400 or 500 listing. Ty, the Vietnamese guy, and then he started using software, but like I listed about 50, and then I went to DSM Tool, and then I wasn't having enough funds to I was trying to list like 250 items at the, after the 50 items that I listed free, I just purchased a store subscription. I didn't even have the funds to pay for the store, but I knew I had the sales when I was having like 50 listing. So I know that if I listed 250, I will have the sale.
Yeah.
Within the end of the month. So I can afford it.
Yeah.
That's the way. So I started with the 50 listing with DSM. It was free. And then you list. And then I deleted from DSM. And then I list again. And then I take it manually from DSM to SkuGrid. SkuGrid is really annoying. Really annoying. You can monitor your stuff with SkuGrid with $15. They can handle a store with 250 or maybe 500 also.
Yeah.
If you are just scanning one item a day.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's fine. You can start with like $10 with SkuGrid, and you can monitor like 500 items. You can even monitor a store with 1K. After I finished the 250 items, I upgraded my store to 1K.
And if anybody listening wants, so SkuGrid's the cheapest option. It can be a bit clunky, but it's absolutely the cheapest option to keep track of your prices. And there's a link in the description. And normally I wouldn't share like an affiliate link in the middle of the video, but this link comes with 20,000 free credits. So if you're starting off and your store is small, that'll actually, last a little bit. So if anyone's listening and they want that, you can get free credits and have your store monitored for free for a bit until you run out of credits.
Yeah, it's even not the cost, It's right now the software like DSM or any other software, it's like $12 for I think 150.
Yeah, and it's free if you have less than 50.
Yeah. Right now I tell everyone, so if he's just starting up and they are saying that I doesn't have any sales and how many listing, below the 10, even below the 50 listing. Even if you have the 50 listing, it's not enough.
Yeah.
To say that it works or no. So everyone that wants to start up, he can save I think maybe $50. The first is, right now there is a new store subscriptions, right? So you don't have to be 250 items.
Mm-hmm.
The basic store isn't the beginning of the stores anymore.
Yeah, there's a starter store.
Yeah, but for any beginner, the basic store is enough. It's fine. 250 items, and you can monitor them with I think $35 maybe. Most of the softwares can monitor them with $35. So it's about, you will pay $35. And trust me, if you listed 250 items at the beginning of the month, you will afford the store subscription at the end of the month.
Yeah.
I'm sure about that.
Yeah,
But the people
as long as
scared.
they're optimized items.
Yeah. Even if they are sniped, you don't have to be optimized. You can start with sniping. It's more faster,
Yeah,
rather than
I
the
consider sniped
optimization.
items optimized. In my
Yeah,
head,
but
an optimized item is an item that has a different title than the source URL.
most of the items right now like have the most keywords already.
Yeah.
So it's not like a different title, so it's fine. But right now I have like a VA that some of them does sniping, some of them does most of the optimizing.
Man,
So
you have virtual assistants already?
yeah.
That's really
After
good, man. That's really good.
after April 20th, it really sucks. I shared with you my sales. Before April, you saw the 18K. All of that was only me.
And that was in
And
March.
that was in March. That was a good month, I think, for most
Yeah.
of the dropshippers. But the problem, and I wasn't tax exempt yet in March. So the people that saying that they can't compete if they are not tax exempt, or international
just an
dropshippers
excuse.
can't compete because they are not. I became tax exempt like 1 month ago after April. It was like hard stuff. If you are having like that drop in sales and you are still paying taxes and you don't know what to do about that, and you are still waiting for receiving your EIN and you haven't received it yet. So
It's
you
scary.
don't. Yeah, it's not that. I know that I can go through it, but it takes time.
Yeah.
You have to work about it, and you have to. And there is not enough information about the international on the YouTube, on internet. Even there is no any like paid course for the internationals. How
Yeah.
they can open like LLC, how they can get tax exempt, how they can compete, all of that stuff. I doesn't have the 5% Amazon cashback credit card, and so I can't compete like with most of the US dropshippers. But it's still worth it.
Yeah.
You don't have like, I lose a lot of money with the 5% cashback. And there's like on Amazon you don't have like top cashback. It's not fine with Amazon.
Yeah.
Most of the website cashback doesn't accept Amazon, or Amazon doesn't give a lot
Yeah,
of cashback.
that's true.
to the website.
There's only specific categories in Amazon that are eligible for cashback. But you can get, as a U.S. person, once you have a U.S. identity at least, then you can get that 5% store card, which is really
I already contacted the bank. It's hard. You have to have like the SSN.
Yeah.
Or if you've gone through the US, you will have to have, even if like you have 2% cashback with any bank from America. Most of the banks can provide you with 2% cashback credit card. So it's not bad, but you can't also have this. And here in Egypt, there is no any credits cashback, any cashback that you can have and purchase with it. There is no even like a credit line. You can't like have access to funds and you can pay them back after 1 month or something like that. You have to pay with what you have. You only pay with what you have.
That's hard.
But you can also go through it,
Yeah, perseverance is everything, man.
Yeah. About after April 11 or 20, I think, I had that drop in. I was like having 2K of items on that month, and maybe like 900 of them haven't sold like in the past 3 months. So it was like most of my sales was from the half of the store. So I was paying registration fees for 1K of listing.
Yeah, that weren't producing sales.
And on the April, within March and April, I haven't listed, anything in March and April because I couldn't handle listing, ordering, customer service, tracking upload. I had already found the software, but I was also uploading the tracking on March. I think I was uploading the tracking by my own. It was really hard. You was like working like 10 hours or 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
On March. And then like in April, after that drop in sales, and at the beginning I was charging sales tax, and I know it wasn't good because I was paying it.
Yeah.
And then I had the eBay message, you have to stop charging sales tax.
Yeah.
And then you have to figure it out how you are going to be tax exempt so you can compete with the others.
Yeah.
The problem is I had that message and I was like it was my 4th or 5th month. There is another dropshippers that they have been dropshipping for like almost 2 years, and they have then they are top rated and they are still charging taxes on all of the states.
Yeah.
Even charge taxes on the states that they doesn't supposed to charge tax on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
which is illegal, but if the
So
person's based in a foreign country, it doesn't matter really.
Yeah, it's not. I know, but they told me that they will suspend the account if I stop. I had like 7 days. If I start, if I didn't stop charging sales tax, I will get suspension. So I already stopped it, and I had to figure it out through I'm going to be tax exempt. But until now, me or you or any other dropshipper that doesn't charge sales tax, there's a lot of other dropshippers that still charges, and they are not new. If they are new, it's fine. Do you know that after 2 or 3 months they will have to stop charging it?
Yeah.
And then we are going to be equal. But there is others that I told you 2 years top rated, like 50K of feedback, and they are still charging sales tax on all of the states. So you can't compete with those.
Yeah, I've seen screenshots of people where you try and purchase their item, and then at the end, 10% sales tax gets added to it.
You can see their tax table within the item. If you check about the details, you will see they are charging 8% and 9% on all of the states.
Yeah.
And even it's illegal.
Yeah.
Even when I was charging sales tax, I was just charging the main sales tax, 9, 6, 5, 4.
Yeah.
The 5 states that doesn't charge sales tax, I wasn't charging sales tax on them. I was charging the sales tax like what Walmart charges me.
Yeah.
So it's not like there is other.
You weren't just pocketing that. You were using that money to pay Walmart.
There's 10%. There's some people that charge 10% for the sales tax.
Yeah,
that's
and
really
no state charges 10%.
Yeah, there is some. I think there's one. Maybe New York.
As far as I know, the highest I think is New York, and it's 8.
Yeah.
But
it's fine. Eventually, they are going to stop charging it. We will see about that with eBay.
Yeah.
And then after April, I ended about 1K of listing. Yeah, at that point, I stopped using that kind of listing with DSM and monitor with ScoreGrid. After I upgraded the store to 1K, I had purchased the subscription with DSM. It was 1K, and I was using Shopify from Mark. I can't afford the 150 subscription with what's the name of the software? DS Genie, yeah. Yeah. And also it wasn't user friendly. It was really hard.
Yeah, they're working on updating the UI, but it was a bit old school.
Yeah, comparing with DSM, it was user friendly. So I was sniping stuff. At the first I was sniping with my own, and at the first also I wasn't sniping. I was just finding items from Walmart or Amazon and list them and optimize the title using title builder, all of that stuff. And I had 2K or 3K of sales. I think the second month, I doesn't remember exactly. I shared with you the photos.
Yeah.
And then after the third month, I started sniping, and I started using DSM and Shopify. That was $50 with Shopify, and DSM I had to monitor 1K was maybe 35 or 40. And I knew that I'm going to have this money if I work correctly, and if I work hardly, I will find the revenue at the end of the month. So I had afforded it, and then I upgraded the store subscription again, and then I upgraded the monitor DSM again to 2K, and I started listing only. I already maxed my 1K, all of this before April. And after April, I just deleted half of the store. And after, I wasn't tax exempt yet, and I hired my first VA. I subscribed to online jobs. I paid the $65 or $69, and I hired 2 VAs actually at the first time. And I was teaching both of them. The first one was like messy, but I tired of teaching her. But the second one was good. He understands the work.
Yeah.
So I teach him about sniping. I teach him about using Shopify, how to use it, how to snipe people, and all of that stuff. And I let him start listing. At the beginning, you can just hire them for 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. It's fine. You will only pay $50 or $60 a month. But if you can afford them, you can hire them. But you can't hire a VA and you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Or you don't know how to train them. You have to go through all of that before you hire them.
You can't expect to just hire a VA and then just trust that they're gonna just know everything.
Yeah, they're gonna make you money.
Yeah, but it is at the same time a big turning point for a lot of drop shippers. And as drop shipping gets older, the need of having a virtual assistant is more and more. As far as I'm concerned now, I don't believe that it's possible to run a profitable dropshipping store without virtual assistants or software.
You can run it if you have 10K of sales. If you have a store with 1,000 items and you're not, most of the people doesn't have the ambition to go through that. They want only $500 or $400 a month.
Yeah.
And they are satisfied with that. So they don't want to go through it and just hire one and experiment stuff and see if they are going to make money or no. They are scared about that. But I just hired it and I paid for them. I hired the 2, and it was on the month that all of the eBay dropshippers saying that it's the end, eBay is shutting down.
Every year,
all of
man.
that stuff. Yeah, and I told him, I even posted a post in the group, and I told him that it's not the end, and you have to put the work. Before that month, I wasn't listing. What I was supposed to do to come back is you have to start listing again, and you have to delete the old listing that wasn't sold in the past 3 months. So you saw that I had on April, before April it was 18. On April the month was good until the half of it, and then it dropped. So if April was the best month, I was going to go across the 18 or across the 20.
Yeah.
On April, but that drop had blown me. And on March, you saw that it was 15, I think, 15K. But with 15K, I was having only 1,200 listing. So I deleted about 900. I deleted 1K, and I listed a new 300 or 400. Not me, my VAs.
Yeah.
So at this point, if I didn't hire a VA and scaled my business, I was going to go down because I wasn't having enough time to list and do customer service and trying to scale and figuring out how you are going to be tax exempt and how you are going to waiting for your EIN, Walmart tax exemption, Amazon tax exemption, all of that stuff. So I wasn't having enough time for both of them. So I just hired a VA and told him, I teach him how he can list, and I just tell him to start. And I handled the customer service and ordering, and I was figuring out how I'm going to be tax exempt so I can compete back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the next month of March, I had it dropped a lot. It was from 18 to 15, right? But it was I was paying 1K of insertion fee for listing that wasn't selling. So I just deleted them, and on the March, I was having 1.2K. That was enough. That was good. And then I start scaling from March. The first month, that I hired a VA and I started scaling on March. I just had like, I scaled the business like for was 3K of listing. After I maxed it from 1.5K from April to 3K on March with the 2 VAs. And I start even using some bulk stuff because I know that I had to have that anchor store. Because if I had the anchor store, I already afford like my stuff was like the premium store and was like 2K items. So if I can have 2K multiplied by 5, even if the revenue is more low, but it can be more better.
Yeah, because once you get to, I think it's like 3,200 listings or like 2,700.
3,750 listing.
Okay. Yeah. Once you get to that point, it becomes cheaper to have an anchor store. So you basically get 6,000 more listings for the same price.
I didn't get through that yet. Yeah, I was like having 3.5 or 3.4, and I just upgraded the store because I knew that I'm going to list more because I upgraded the salary of my VA. He's working right now for like 6 hours a day, 5 days a week, maybe 6 days a week. I hired a new VA because the old one, it wasn't good, it was really amateur. And then I hired another one. I started with 2 hours. The next week I upgraded him to 4 hours a day. And then, so right now the VA is like working 10 hours a day for listing. So you can't work that time.
Yeah, not in the long run. It's temporary.
They will take from your profit. But you're talking about the future.
Yeah.
So on March, I lost profit. It wasn't affordable. I haven't had like the enough money to pay for the VAs. They didn't give me like 250 profit so I can pay them.
Yeah.
But I knew that after 2 months, 3 months, the listing that they listed 3 months ago, they're still going to be sell.
Yeah. So 1 second before you go on, do you know about recycling listings?
Yeah, I already done that. You are talking about deleting the listing and uploading them again?
Yeah.
Yeah. With your bulk, I don't recommend that. You are doing that, but it's not good. You have to have like a selling history.
Yeah, no, that's my point. So with eBay items, this is something I learned about eBay before dropshipping. So when I was a physical US seller, right? There were times where I had the identical same product, right? And the listing, if it's going to sell, it's all based on like how buyers interact with it in the beginning. So you can post the same listing under the exact same circumstances on multiple different occasions. And on some occasions, it will perform much, much, much better.
Yeah, I know that. They have like a post for the listing once it had listed new. They can go post through the sales rank. But it's not that different because I have sales from listing that haven't sold like 2 months. Yeah. And I have sales from them. And there is some listing that can sell with like, before it recycle within 1 day, they can still sell.
Yeah.
Because there's another post from eBay that it will end like within 1 day.
So it's ending soon.
It's ending soon. So that post the sale. Even I have got the cancelled listing. And I had like an items that I was selling the past 3 months. I was selling like 30 or 40 from them. And they are stopped selling like 3 months ago. I should deleted them, but right now because I upgraded the store already, so I'm just waiting because I will not max the 10K of listing this month. Even with my VAs, they are not going to max the store subscription or the store free listing.
Yeah.
But I had changed my monitor software because DSM isn't good for scaling. I don't know how can Jack or Ball works with the software with like a huge listing because of the repricer. They're having issues sometimes with the repricer. That's the problem. But if about the listing, and they also have some issues with the listing if they doesn't recognize all of the Amazon listing.
Yeah.
But I changed my software to Yabali. I don't know if you know about it.
Yeah, Yabali, yeah.
Yeah. I changed it to it because the important feature that they have that I can list like multi-variations items. That's really the important stuff. Most of the dropshippers doesn't have the multi-variations item.
Yeah, so they're less competitive. I avoid all variations.
Yeah, it costs more because with the monitor you will pay like if the item have 10 variations you will pay for 10 items.
Yeah.
But with eBay it's not. You are just listing one item.
Yeah.
So it's enough. It's good to have the multi-variations listing.
Yeah, they are less competitive. That's true.
Yeah, most of the dropshippers can delist one item and one variation from that item, one color from that item.
Yeah.
And if the buyer want to search about another item, like no one have another variation of that item. Even most of the softwares recognize only one variation from the item.
Yeah. Pricematik, they'll check the default.
Pricematik you can change the variation from it. But with DSM, or I don't know about SkuGrid if they can change the variation, but with like DSM you can't change the variation. When you enter the link, you will have to have like the only variation that they have.
Yeah, the default one.
With Walmart, they monitor the variation that it's out of stock, and I want to list the variation that in stock.
Yeah.
So I can't monitor it.
Yeah.
So that's really bad as a software, but it's good for the beginner. They can work through it.
Yeah, I'm impressed that you're talking about multiple different softwares here, and that also you're different than most people. Most people just go with one, and then they're like, "This is the best one ever."
No, there is no any best.
Yeah.
There is no even anyone telling me what software I use. I just start with any software. All of them is good if you're starting up, and then that I was trying to use like the Tailor software, Sales Freak, but it's really expensive right now. For Tailor, maybe it's not right now because he can afford it with the sales that he have, but because Tailor like have 1 year or maybe 1.5 year selling stuff. So my oldest listing have like five months. So and I doesn't have an item that sold more than 100 item. So with Mark, he have like a ton of sold history.
Yeah.
Tailor have that also. Ball also have that. So most of my items right now is new. So the people that they are saying that how I can't find items or most of the other dropshippers is old dropshippers, so they have the more sales history, the more items, all of that stuff. Most of my items had started listing on January, so it's like 5 or 6 months ago. And I even deleted, I told you that half of the store. So right now, I have like more than 4K. I listed about 1K in bulk, but it's not like a random bulk, but I start using only the prime, good stuff, good price, like $50 or $60 prices, and 30 also. So I will see the next month if it's profitable or no. You can list only 1K and try with it.
Yeah.
And just tag them. You can tag them and see at the end of the month how many sales you have from that 1K.
Yeah.
And with the 1K you will pay like how much insertion fees and how much was the store subscription. The monitor subscription. So you will know how much you are going to pay for that and for that. If it's profitable, you can scale. If it's not, you can just delete the 1K. It's fine. With your experiment, you already gone through the bulk and you know what to do about that. But most of my method is like sniping, and right now optimizing, editing the photos. I edit the photos, the main photo. It takes time for the VA to edit the first photo and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's good because you have to be different, because there is some items that have like 20 other sellers selling the same item.
Yeah, you
and
gotta
all
stand
of them
out.
have the same photo. Yeah, you have to stand out.
That actually, so I learned something interesting about that recently. So you've probably seen how there are some sellers on eBay who have like the photo of the item and it's small, and then they have a bunch of like text around the item.
I have that.
So technically that's against eBay policy. You're not supposed to
No,
do that.
I already contacted them. I already contacted them about that, and I told them, because some other dropshipper, and he was Egyptian, because at the beginning I listed my item was like my store sales and or the store limit increase, and my name was on it.
Yeah.
That sucks. But I edited the photo, so not a lot of people recognized my store name.
Yeah.
But even if they recognize it, they can't compete also, because I'm editing photo. I'm listing right now. I'm listing like 80 to 100 a day. So they can't handle the speed with my store, and they are just by themselves.
Yeah. So what I was getting at is that, so you actually have another advantage by customizing the images, and that's that if the original image becomes small enough, there's a certain percentage, right? And if it's considered your own property at that point, because you've modified the image so much that you will get less Vero
but
notifications.
I have like some Vero notifications. And by the way, if I had like a limit for listing for 3 days because of one item that it was like, I think, a rifle item.
Yeah.
It was from the 1K bulk listing, and I contacted eBay about that and told him that it's not like a Vero item, it's only the keyword and all of that stuff. He just said, oh, okay, sorry, you can list the item again, but don't edit that keyword, and he removed the 3 days.
That's awesome.
So maybe you can have that if you have like 7 days or 15 days, from not listing. You can try that with eBay and see if they can remove it or no. But about editing the photo, I already contacted one of the reps and told him, because some other dropshipper steal my listing, and it was like having that badge, but my store name wasn't on the main image, so he steal the main image, and he didn't like. They couldn't remove it because they said that you have to enter your store name on it, so they can't do it.
Interesting.
So they told me that you can add a watermark on the item, on the main image, so the other people can't, steal your images.
Yeah.
I told them, is it legal? They told me yes. So I don't know if other rep will say no about that, but I already contacted the rep, and he told me that it's fine. You can add your watermark or the store name on it. And there is a lot of dropshippers, big dropshippers that, do that.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you make the image itself small enough, so this doesn't apply. What I'm saying doesn't apply if you're just putting text over the image. If you make the image itself smaller, and then you add to the border of the image, and you have like price of the item, that kind of stuff.
You don't need to have the price of the item and all of that stuff. You can just add like fast free shipping, and there is another advantage. You can just add tax free. That's enough for the beginners.
My point though is that adding this information in some scenarios can make you immune to Vero problems, because it's no longer considered a copyrighted image, as long as it's all about the size of the image.
I only edit the first image. Mm-hmm. I don't have time to edit the 7 or the 10
the
images.
Other ones, yeah. But there are people who do. I've seen stores that have every item like that, and there's one store in particular that does really well that way.
there is one store. There is a lot of stores that hard that they change the images, they change the description, they change the title. They doesn't have any UBCs or anything about the item, and it's like an Amazon item, but you can't find it. It's hard to find it.
Yeah.
You know, and also Walmart. So there's some stores that go through it, and they make money. But it's not that. It's really a waste of time if you're scaling. You can't like edit like 10K of items and edit their images, all of their images, and edit all of their descriptions. Yeah, that's a lot. Even if you have the VAs, if you take the time and the money you are going to pay for the VAs so they can edit all of that stuff, I think you will see that it's not profitable if you are just listing and editing only the main image. The time that you are spending for only that stuff would be more profitable.
Yeah.
But we will see about that in the future.
Yeah, man. So I gotta leave in like 10-15 minutes. Is there some other stuff you want to go over? Anything in particular?
Actually, no. I was just wanted to make the call with you. You are giving a lot of information. That's good. Even if it's not like, you are not like maybe Tyler or Paul, but
yeah, they all earn way more money than I do.
Yeah, but the information you gave is like, it's enough for some beginners to start. Even with Mark, his information is enough. A lot of others is enough for most of the time. But as I told you, that you have to try everything by yourself at the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, and you got all those I'm quite impressed considering like you just started this 6 months ago. You already have a VA. You've already worked with multiple different pieces of dropshipping software. Like there's people who dropship for like 3 or 4 years and never get to that point. So that's good, man. That's really good.
Yeah, the problem is there is a lot of dropshippers that they're dropshipping for like a year, and they say that they even doesn't max the basic store items. So that's not good. Right now I know that at the end of this month I'm going to have my sales back, even if I'm paying more because of the store subscriptions and because of the VAs that have more money. But we will see after 3 or 4 months, we are still not in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, so one thing to be aware of with eBay in general, and this is eBay across the board, not just dropshippers. Summer is bad. It is like every single summer. If you look at eBay forums, everyone's like, eBay's dead, eBay's going down. It happens every single year. And it's important to know that like it doesn't really get better usually until August. So just keep that in mind that like this time of year, April, June, July is arguably one of the worst
I'm just
times.
like saving the stuff. I don't want like to list the items on October, or in November. I wanted to max like an optimized anchor store before the fourth quarter.
Yeah, so you start off the fourth quarter with that.
Yeah, even if I'm not going to have the best profitable stuff, or even if like, but I know that my VAs right now, they handle the money that I pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
So the one that there's one that right now he is having like 250 a month for the amount of hours that he's working. So I know that with this amount of hours, he can earn me 250.
Yeah.
The other VA haven't go through that yet. I still pay for him more than he gave me, but it's fine. I know that in the future he will.
Yeah. It's all about building those relationships.
Yeah. No, it's not about that only, about the listing that he lists. Because the first VA that she listed like about 300 items, okay? And she had $50 for like 2 weeks of listing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm having still sales from this 300 items. So I think that I had the $50 back, and the items is still in the store.
Yeah.
So the VAs is about building, the listing and all of that stuff. I'm still trying to have like the VA to handle the customer service and the returns. I have like right now an item like a software that orders the stuff from Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that if I had a VA that handled the ordering, it will be more lowering the profit, because the software can take like 150 a month.
Yeah.
For the amount of orders that list. If I give the VA the 150, I think that he can order and he can also handle the customer service.
Yeah, but that's not going to increase your. That doesn't bring in more business. So yeah, it's definitely a priority to have the VA's listing until like you're at a point where you are being hurt by spending that time yourself.
Yeah, right now they are still listing, but I don't know if I'm going to hire a third one for the customer and the ordering, or there is another that the one who optimized. Maybe he can handle the customer service and increases his working time. That will be more better. Mm-hmm. He doesn't work with anyone else, so that will be more better. So right now you are having any VAs?
Yeah, I have one VA, but it's more like a partnership kind of thing, because he watches almost every YouTube video. And is very like aware of me as a person and what I'm trying to do. And like, I got him because I did a series of videos about hiring a virtual assistant, and then one of the listeners was just like, I'll do it. Like, so for me, it's much more incentivizing to work with somebody who is like committed to what I do already. And we have a really solid relationship. It's very, honestly, I got wicked lucky. Like it was my second VA, and he's been perfect, absolutely perfect. You
can try to like optimize your store more better.
Yeah.
If you like just stop, I'm telling you to stop just deleting recycling that stuff. It's not good.
No. That's what. So the two things that are happening now to be different with bulk. So it's important to understand that the bulk work in the past for me was always about exposing myself to information and making YouTube content. My focus wasn't on getting profitable sales. It was on those two things, because I knew that would change my life sooner than money necessarily, right? Now the main two things that I'm changing about bulk is one, that as soon as something sells, the title gets optimized. Then the item gets added to a like exception list. So when the store reposts and reiterates, that item is not removed. So those are the two kind of like main changes that are happening now.
That's better.
Yeah, no, it's much better.
Most of the new dropshippers have the problem with the selling limits. That was bad for me also. But you can just work through that and start. If eBay knows that you're selling and you're growing up, they are going to increase it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like 30 days, because on October, I increased. In October, that it was a good month, or I think November. It was a good month for selling, and it was like my
November's
first month.
considered the best month on eBay.
Yeah, I wasn't having enough items, but as a beginner, I was with 200 or 100 listing, 5 or maybe 6K in sales was really good, But I increased in this month. I think I increased my limits 4 times. Every week I increase one limit, and they increase it. If one rep didn't increase it, you can just
go
again. Go again, and you can tell them that I want to grow as the business, and that it's a selling month. It's really a hot month.
Yeah.
So give me the limit so I can list. So some reps can understand that and they can increase it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is other reps that's really pissed off and they doesn't like anything in the world. So just off with that and call another rep.
Yeah. That's very good advice, is just keep calling until you get the answer you like.
Yeah. And the problem was the April 20 was the traffic more than the items, because my traffic had done and the half, I think, dropped to the half. and I return it back with the traffic. But I think that you can return it back also with listing the new listing. It's not like just ignore the old listing. There's a lot of people saying that I had a list that I was selling 20 or 30 times a month, and it stopped selling.
Yeah.
And it go through, it become really high or really bad in the sales or in the page rank on eBay. So you can just ignore that listing and list a new item. It's fine. You don't have to have only one item that you are concerned about or any about that stuff.
Yeah.
Because one or two or three, don't depend on just one profitable item or one item that sells a lot. At the first, I had a printer that it was selling a lot. This was the printer that made me the sales for the 6K, and it was really good. It had maybe 3 or 2.5K of sales with only that item. And right now it's out of stock. It had been ended on Walmart.
Yeah.
So, it's fine. There's some listing, you can make money from them and then just ignore them, just delete them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's important to understand that, because that's where most really successful dropshippers have a whole bunch of individual listings that resell a whole bunch. The trouble with that is that you are much more prone to that item becoming more competitive, and then suddenly
you will be sniped.
Yeah, exactly. Suddenly the item that was producing 30% of your total sales numbers just disappears. So it's that's one of the things that causes those intense fluctuations in sales.
And you don't have to depend on only the small amount. There's some people that think I have a lower profit margins because if it's from 5 to 10, at the beginning I was having 15 to 20 from Walmart and all of that stuff, but because I was optimizing and all of that. But with the sniping, you can't have a 20% profit with a sniped item. Even if you had a store that have a 20% profit already, and you snipe it with 15 or 16, it's not that good or scalable to have that, because you are going to be sniped also.
Yeah.
And the good stuff was the Abali software that you can decrease the profit margin if the item doesn't sold in the past 15 days.
Huh. That's useful.
So that's
give it a push.
Good. Yeah. I have a system that goes through the software that you can there's some items that you can sell with 15 profit margins, and then it will not sell for a month.
Yeah.
And then you can sell it for 10, and then you can sell it for 5. So 5 isn't bad if you are talking about 10K, 20K, it's not bad. And in the future, you have to have different incomes. Most of your watchers from US, so they have access with the credit card cashbacks and the website cashbacks, also the gift cards, all of that stuff. We can't even purchase a gift cards from Amazon with our PayPal account.
There's actually more. So just for reference, there's more international. Not with the YouTube channel, but on the Udemy course, 61% of the students are not US people. So there's actually more international people interested in those Udemy courses. But I mean, that makes sense. It's a $20 course. It's cheap.
Most of the Arabic people, they check Udemy most of the time about the paid courses and all of that stuff. But I didn't take your course, but I'm sure that all of the information that's in your course is already on the channel.
Yeah. The course is just more my YouTube videos are between 10 and 30 minutes usually. I mean, these videos are an hour sometimes, but all the course videos are between 3 and 8 minutes, so they're much more quick and to the point. That's the main difference, really.
Yeah, but as I told you that they can if you have the sales, that's enough.
Yeah.
Just have the cash flow and the sales, and then you will make money on the back end.
Yeah.
You don't have to make money on the back end at the beginning, but if you had the 5%, or if you are using Walmart right now, Top Cashback can take up to 10%.
Yeah, depending on the category.
Yeah. Most of them right now is 10% actually. Maybe the electricity category is 1%, the electronic category. but most of them from 8 to 10. So it's not bad, 10%. And if you
That's
are
huge.
making like 5, yeah. Right now, my main source is Amazon, not Walmart. I was having a lot of sales from Walmart, but because my VA is more better with Amazon, and he's fighting Amazon sellers, though it's more better. But you can depend on Walmart, and the Walmart cancellation, yeah, it's huge. You have to figure it out.
Yeah.
And because you are international, the credit card, or you can buy with the PayPal account international.
Yeah, you got to use gift cards, and gift cards are prone to
Yeah.
cancellation.
And there is no even gift cards as international. You can't access to the gift cards.
You can.
From Walmart.
You just can't. It's like you can't buy them from the same websites that US people
Yeah, you
buy
can't
them.
buy them.
But you can
Yeah,
get
and
cryptocurrency. You can get Bitcoin and
Most
trade
of them
that.
can't do that.
No, I know.
It's-
I know somebody who does that so effectively that he can sell items for the same cost
Yeah, it's
at the
good, but
source.
it's good, but the problem is with it's not scalable. With the gift card about Walmart, you have like to edit. You only have 5 gift cards, and you have to edit the gift card every time. And if you got refunded, you have to have the gift card number and all of that stuff.
But you can
It's
work
not
around all
scalable.
that. It's not a.
Yeah,
I'm just
But
saying
if you
it's
haven't-
something that can be done. Is all that
Yeah.
I'm saying.
but with Amazon, it's more scalable. As Tyler working around it right now with Amazon, it can be more automated with Amazon. And a lot of dropshippers use AliExpress because of them. It's more cheaper.
Yeah,
You can have
really
more profit
cheap.
margins. Yeah, you will have more problems. The most dropshippers that start with AliExpress have the suspensions.
Yeah.
And then they have the
AliExpress
issue
is
of-
better for Shopify or like a personal website, not really on eBay.
Yeah. Even they are starting with eBay, and then they don't go through it, or they fail, or they say that it's not a good enough money to earn, so they go through Shopify.
Yeah.
So if they go just through Shopify, they will be fail a lot. There's a lot of gurus that's saying that you can start with like a 29 subscription store website, and you can just build it up and open a Facebook campaign with $5, and you will have the sale.
It's not that simple.
Yeah, you will pay a lot of money. I started Shopify, and that was before April and maybe in March, but I knew that I will not handle the two stuff, because the money that I was earning from eBay, that was spending on Shopify. But if I'm not putting enough time on eBay, I will not have enough money to spend on Shopify.
Yeah.
Even
Shopify is
with-
harder, definitely harder.
Yeah.
You need an effective way
It's
to
not
generate traffic.
impossible. It's not impossible, but you have to be like more professional. You have to build your own, your own site. It's not like just one item that make a campaign or it and it will have sales. You have to build a brand about it.
Yeah.
And it's like FBA. You will have to build a brand so you can have sales
Yeah.
with Shopify. But as a new beginner, the best way to start up is with eBay. And then you can go through any other stuff you want. But first, max you're profitable with eBay and automate it, and then search for another thing. But I was really, wanted to experiment a lot of stuff. I was going to go through online arbitrage, maybe, FBA, I was searching about it, eBay, Shopify, all of that. I wanted to start all of that. You can't start all of that in one time.
Yeah.
You can't start two of them in one time. You have to choose one of them and be perfect on it, make a passive income from it, and then change to the other one. All of them is profitable. All of them can make you money.
Yeah, if you do it right.
But it depends on you and on the money that you are willing to spend. With Shopify, the minimum that I'm recommending for anyone, $400 a month. And as international, you will have to pay more because you will have to have LLC and EIN and all of that stuff. You have to have like a US company because you want to use Stripe payments. You can't just open a store a website and just accept PayPal.
Yeah.
That's the more issue that I was having, that I didn't have access to Stripe, so I can't use what someone will come and enter and buy stuff. They have to log into PayPal. Even as international, they doesn't have even the guest checkout with PayPal.
Yeah.
So you will have to log in. So you're not going to tell the customer to register to a website so they can buy the item. They will just skip it up.
Yeah. It's got to be convenient.
Yeah, and the lower company that you can open as a US, it can be like 300 or 400, and maybe 400 more as campaigns, and optimizing your website and all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It will take like maybe 1K. If you want to run a profitable and an organized Shopify website store. So it's not that simple and easy. The gurus say that it's simple because they want the affiliate link from Shopify. Yeah. So they can earn more money. Some of them provide a good information, but even with the information that they provide or the influencers shout outs and all of that stuff, you will have to pay a lot.
Yeah.
So just skip Shopify and start as an eBay dropshipper.
Yeah, eBay makes the most sense to start with. That's for sure.
Yeah. There is a lot of other stuff, but you can WordPress, affiliate marketing, CBA, all of that stuff, and all of them can make you money. Everyone have to choose a niche for them and just go all in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. I got to head out now, but I really appreciate this. This was a good call. Definitely glad because like you said, there's not much information for international people. So you just covered a lot of really valuable stuff for people. So that's awesome, man. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Bye-bye for now.
Bye. See you around.
Yeah, you too.